You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech, featuring a weekly roundup of tech news and gossip. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech.
Yo!
Oh, sorry, that last one was funny.
Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, of course. The show we break down nerd culture, tech news from a black geek perspective. As always, I'm your host, Joe Braswell, alongside with my other co-host, Akili Shine. How you doing, Akili?
I'm good, man.
How you been?
I'm good, man. Just ripping and running, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know we started a podcast that doesn't start with you ripping and running.
I know, man. It's a lot of moving and grooving, ripping and running.
A lot of it.
Week.
I mean, that's cool. That's what we're here to do. Well, we're here to. We had a week off because of Labor Day. What'd you do? Did you do anything? You work? Because you're always working.
I had a laborsome day on Labor Day.
It's supposed to be not working on Labor Day.
No, man, I'm young. I'm young. I'm supposed to be working.
Okay.
I got to get these millions.
Yeah, I see. Well, I'm old, and I guess I'm working too. So, cool. Well, what did I do? Oh no, I didn't work. I didn't work at all. I did a lot of like sitting around,
chilling, sipping.
A lot of sipping. Yes, I sipped a lot.
Yes, sir.
Let's jump into these topics today. There's a lot happening. Before we get started, I do want to say, there is. I want to give acknowledgement to Joan Rivers, who did pass away. She's kind of a extended friend of the program, and my business partner Steve, our partner Steve, works with her very closely every day. She's a legend. 81 years young. I mean, she did it to the end and has broken so many barriers for females and female comedians and media. So I'd be remiss not mentioning Joan Rivers, and rest in peace. Yeah,
for sure.
So now, before we get into, let's get into some tech news here. There's a story that I like that's very interesting that really talks about the idea of, robot cars is something we've been talking about for a while. And the idea that the Google driverless car and the future of these smart cars, not smart cars as small, but smart cars as in cars that will be able to drive around and sense things around. And we already have the cars that, when you're falling asleep will wake you up or kind of know what's around you. The GPS is prevalent. Google's already on this very, very heavily with the driverless car. So we're looking to a future now where the cars and the GPS in the cars will be able to basically press a button and it'll take you home or do whatever.
Right.
So with that, and that's not that far away. Like that technology is here now.
Absolutely.
But just in terms of implementing it into what our day-to-day society is what we're talking about. So with that comes a question of ethics. And it's something that you don't often think about because oftentimes we talk about the technology curve is ahead of the legal curve, is ahead of the whatever curve. But there's an ethics curve in there too. For instance, the question is, how do you program ethics into a car, and whose responsibility is that?
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. So the car, you're in your driverless car, and you're chilling, and you're half asleep. The car's barreling down the road in a tunnel, and a kid walks in the middle of the street. There's a kid there. Now, the car's choice is to either go over the kid and kill the kid, or swerve into a wall, possibly killing you.
Right.
What's the car to do?
Right.
And more importantly, who programs that? Is it a manufacturer's thing to do that? Is that the technology? Is that you? Is that a waiver? And if it does, it's a lot. What do you think about this?
I think we're approaching the time where technology has agency over itself, and I think that's exactly what the arguments are. Like does technology have the sophistication to make those type of decisions? And then you talk about ethics, what's the right or wrong in a scenario like that? Like what's the lesser evil?
Right.
And I think the equivalent is to like if someone's on life support, like is it the doctor's choice to pull the plug? Is it the patient's choice? Is it the family's choices? I think that's kind of similar to this. Like my argument would be I think it's the driver's choice. And I don't know how they would do it technologically if you would program that car based on that driver's set of ethics.
Well, that's kind of what they're talking about. Almost like a a donor card when you on your license, like you say, okay, well if I go, you can take all my organs. It's very similar. Like in this situation, I prefer to be second to or whatever human. But then again, what if a dog's walking across the street?
Right.
Like, I mean, do you know, like what is the ethics? And then in your scenario with the life support situation, it's very similar to that. But also imagine if there were a robot or something, if you were that monitored your health and were able to say, well, he ain't gonna make it, so like what? Like who's like I'm just being efficient. Sorry.
For sure.
So I don't know. It's really it's interesting.
However, I do think what's dope about this topic, at least with the humanless driving cars or whatever, is that I think that the technology is faster than the human brain. So if there is like a split-second decision that needs to be made, I think the car would make a more accurate choice,
right, in
terms of survivability for either the kid or for you, than you could. Like our reaction speeds is much slower than computing power.
And it'll have a data like there was a 37.2% chance that the kid was going to live or that you were going to live. So this is what happened. And the conditions of the road were such that blah, 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 blah. I mean, like,
that sounds like a movie.
It does. It sounds like a premise for a movie.
Seriously.
So very interesting stuff. But like, this is a topic unto itself that we can probably do an hour on. Because
Absolutely.
There's so many things involving, where we're going in the ethics of technology, the ethics of, handing over technology. This is the argument against like the human beings doing stuff versus handing things over to technology. I mean, I don't want Watson deciding some stuff for me that like
I mean, the cars are already doing that, like with I think the braking system. Like if you're getting too close to a car, or it'll swerve out the way, or it'll brake for you.
Sure.
Like I mean, it's already making those type of decisions.
Man, I'm already a bad backseat driver. I'm like, I was gonna brake. Like, how you know I was gonna do, Watson?
Joe Brass, well, I got this.
No, shut up, kid. But like I got it. All right, so it's interesting. So we'll see how that plays out, but we'll definitely keep an eye on that and that story because it's something that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
Let's segue into something that I'm very interested in, which is the iPhone 6. I mean, look, every year the iPhone drops, and every year there's some sort of leak, some sort of leak in some capacity. And this year, there's a pretty significant. I don't know if it's a leak or what, but there's some pretty looks real to me. I can never tell what's real, what's fake, but some very convincing video of the new iPhone 6. Not only of what it looks like, but like completely broken down and dissected and everything else. And,
right.
I don't know. I mean, first of all, what do you think, if this is all true, what do you think of the phone? And second of all, what do you think of these folks who are able to go in and sort of like, the hacker culture that says, we want to know first?
I mean, I think the phone will definitely have some technological advancements. I'm not sure if it's going to be that much different than, the latest model, and especially for the price point that it's going to be. I think they're saying $1,000. Like $1,000. That's what I read. Yeah, $1,000
U.S. dollars.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Wow.
And so I don't know if the jump is that.
Hell to the knob.
Man, you gotta drop that in more often, especially when Joe's talking.
Thank you, Alexis. I love that one. Yeah. Hell to the knob. $1,000.
I believe that's accurate.
This
might be mistaken.
This may get me off the Apple train now.
And then, I mean, in terms of the hacking culture, like I believe it's hacked. I mean, somewhere in China, somebody got a hold of something.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's very plausible that that video is legit.
Well, we're talking about a much larger screen closer to the Galaxy. We're talking about a thinner iPhone itself. The actual body is a lot thinner.
Yeah.
But the screen's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
The power button's on the side now, which is cool.
With the volume.
They're really taking advantage of and really deepening this whole the thumbprint technology.
Yeah. Do you use the thumbprint on the 5?
All the time.
You do for real?
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Wow.
I use it. I mean, like right now, I use it all the time.
So you're in the system, okay?
You in the system? Yeah, somewhere Apple is doing a biometric map of me right now. They're cloning me right now somewhere in Cupertino, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm in the system, so we'll see. Their next story talks about really getting in the system because it's interesting. And now what they're talking about is what's Apple's really talking about implementing. They're talking to Visa and American Express and Bank of America and MasterCard and the banks and Chase and all those other folks. And they're really talking about getting a system where the whole notion of the iPhone as your wallet
Yeah.
has been around for a long time. There's apps that I use like Keyring. I don't know if you use that app. I use Keyring all the time, which has all your Vons Club cards and all your club cards in there.
Yeah.
And then of course Starbucks has your Starbucks app. I use that all the time. There's all these different apps you use.
I mean, not to cut you off, but I mean, Apple's not the first to do this. So we had this argument about Android phones versus Apple phones. Whose is better? Like Android devices have had this technology for at least 3 years.
Right.
Like Google Wallet is not a new thing. So this is kind of like Apple's almost late with this. To be honest.
No, I agree. But as always, Apple's going to do it better. Oh,
We'll see.
but the question is not whether Apple does it better. The question is, do we want this information? And just so we're talking about, Apple's trying to implement this new Apple Wallet, if you will, which will have a system where your Visa card, your bank cards, and every point of purchase system you have, you can just sort of wave your iPhone to it and keep it moving. Now, there's a lot of systems that are already kind of like that in place now, but it requires a lot of the retailers to sort of put in like these, for
The
them.
infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure to be able to support this. Now, larger retailers, no problem. Smaller mom and pops, it might be more difficult.
More challenging.
But the idea of you walking up and then because of the technology with your thumbprint, the authentication of your thumbprint, so anybody just can't roll up on your phone and start charging stuff. The idea being like you have your thumbprint, you can, I'm
sure there's ways.
Only I can authenticate. I'm kind of like this.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't see it that far off from me pulling out my wallet. I have to pull out my phone. Like, what's the difference? Like, the workflow is the same.
Well, for me, like I have an issue with I don't carry a wallet anymore, so I just have my iPhone is in my wallet.
Okay.
No, it is. I don't. Like, my iPhone, I have my ID. I have one of those cases where my ID and my credit card. I only have an ID and a credit card. That's all I have, and so I just slide those into my case, and that's all. That's how I roll these days. I don't need, because I don't. Back in the day, I used to have a giant wallet with like all kind of mess in there and business cards and cars and. I had like sciatic, happening on my, all. So now it's just cool, and I know, I've been, it's hard like having all these stuff. So I just have one thing. I pull it out. Even that's difficult. My jeans be hella tight.
Oh no!
I rock like skinny jeans.
But like. I think this is really speaking towards us moving even more so to a cashless society.
Right.
But what scares me is if you lose your phone. Right. Like, what are you gonna do? You're out and about. Like, you just say you don't have a wallet. You put your ID with your phone.
Sure.
You lose that joint. What you gonna do?
Don't lose your phone,
man. You'll be out of luck. You'll be like in
never
a tough
lose my phone.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. I lose my phone all the time. But it's tough. But I would always, because I'm a king of losing stuff. I lose my wallet. I used to lose my wallet all the time. Wallet. Or stuff would fall out of the wallet. I would lose it all the time. Then the phone. So I don't know. It's kind of like, look, this is your lifeline. Hold on to it. I don't know. I definitely see the point. And I definitely see the problems, but I like it. So
I think it's cool, and for all the Apple apologists, I think the argument is that Apple will go into a space and make the usability of it much better. So they're not inventing this technology; they're just going to make it better, and so that's yet to be seen. But hopefully, it'll be a change the gamer.
Yeah, we'll see. A CTGer. So in the sticking with Apple, let's move on. Sticking with Apple, the leaks, the iCloud leaks that caused these nude photos to come up of Kate Upton and most notably J Law, Jennifer Lawrence, is something called. My iPad just died, so I forget what the bug was called. I think it's called iBrute.
Yeah,
was the actual iBrute was a bug that was in iCloud. That allowed it was as part of the Find Your Phone mechanism. Yeah. So there was a backdoor in Find Your Phone that the hackers found.
Yeah, well, what happened is like typically when you log into say your phone lock, you do it more than like 3 or 4 times, it locks, and it locks you out for a certain amount of time. However, with the Find My Phone, you could do it unlimited times, and so you could just keep going. Oh, that one didn't work. That one, until you found one.
Right.
And so that was the loophole, and so they just finally closed that down.
Right.
But
they closed that loophole. Yeah. And then that's the way in for the hackers, man. These hackers, man, they find it all, like whatever little thing they can exploit.
Anything's hackable.
And then they like on the Reddit boards and some of the boards. I think I saw one guy's like, the fun's over, Apple's closed the loop. And it's like, these guys. But I will say, I might have taken a look at these pics. I might have taken a look at these J-Law pics, and this is where I might, I'm not trying to go to jail. I saw a friend forwarded them to me. I didn't even look. A friend, I think you forwarded them to me. Maybe.
Okay.
I clicked on my inbox, and there she was. I would never seek them out. That's illegal.
For sure.
Okay,
so I'm just noting.
They were spectacular.
First.
they were spectacular. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Joe, don't talk about my wife like that.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, Alexis.
Dare you?
You gotta drop that. You gotta put that drop in for that.
Oh, hell no. No, listen. Okay, well, J-Law is beautiful. Let's leave it at that. So I'm glad they closed the loop. It's really scary, though, that the privacy issues, because hackers they're steady trying to find a way to get into your stuff. And if you're a notable celebrity, these are a bunch of dudes. Yeah. So it's always for the forces of finding nude pics.
Yeah.
And they found them.
The thing that's interesting too about this story is that a lot of content that's on your mobile devices clearly goes to iCloud, and most of us aren't aware of what content is actually going up there. Right. And so I think that's what's really sensitive, because you could have like a document that has your social security on there that goes up there, and you're not aware of it, and someone could hack into that, take your whole identity and do stuff with it. So I think definitely security security measures have to be in place to protect our information, especially if it's being shot up to someone's server. So yeah.
Well, what's also interesting about this is also an opportunity for for Android and Google and Samsung to step up and be like, we don't see Apple. I thought Apple was so great. Yeah, we don't have these problems. So I think it's also funny too that for years the PCs and the PC world were the ones that were so susceptible to hacking and breaking down and viruses and all this other stuff. And Apple's edict was that doesn't happen with us. We don't have any viruses. We have nothing.
They have viruses.
Now, I know, but now as things have opened up and we're in the world of technology and iCloud and everything else, Apple's the one who has all these sort of problems.
All this stuff.
Yeah. So, but it's also a market share thing. I mean, Apple's the biggest, so you want to try to
gotta go for the giant.
Gotta go for the giant. I think that because Samsung is in Galaxy are so sorry that no one wants to hack them.
I will make the bet right now. I bet you in the next 3 to 4 years you're gonna have a Samsung device or an Android device.
I'll take that.
I bet you.
I'll take that bet. We'll see. Okay, so moving on. So at Burning Man, which is completed, and how was it, Akili?
Oh, I wouldn't know, man.
You didn't go?
Nah.
What?
Not this
year?
No.
Oh, man. So, well, Burning Man just ended over the weekend, and for those of you who don't know, if you've been under a rock, Burning Man's a gigantic sort of arts and music festival that takes place in the deepest, darkest corner of the Nevada desert, and it is
the deepest and darkest.
It is way out.
Oh, I know, it's way out. It's
way
super remote.
And they cap it at about 70,000 people, and it's a big, gigantic sort of arts and music fest where there's no money and no system, and everyone's out there for a week and
camping,
and you exchange goods, which includes food and whatever else and fun, whatever. It's a barter system, and you kind of go out there and you it's a big artsy hippie culture. So. And then it's culminated by this big giant. They burned this giant man. Mm-hmm. And it's people really love it, and I'm just debating. I'm about a year or two away from going. I might.
Oh, I mean, I think you're late, to be honest with you.
No. I mean, I think I might. No, just first, do I want to come experience? I've been contemplating. Is this something I want to experience? Yeah. For the past 8 years. Okay. So I feel like that. I think I may
You're close.
I'm close.
I got you.
Maybe next year.
This is definitely something we need to be at without question. Now.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you weren't there.
I mean, man, because
I mean, This is not Coachella. This is a whole different ballgame.
It's on a different level.
But anyway, so the interesting thing about this is now there's been an influx of tech. The tech presence is high there, which brings sort of these because these art installations are getting more and more complicated. Yeah. The tech presence has come, which means a lot of the money has come. A lot of the people who want to come to Burning Man, there's a bit of a culture clash between the standard sort of artsy hippie,
the purists,
and then the tech guys who there's these luxury packages where you can come in and pay $10,000 to $25,000, be flown in, driven out in an air conditioned vehicle to go to some crazy 1,400 square foot tent with air conditioning and literally be served steak tartare.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not quite the Burning Man experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I would be though. But like, that's how I would do it. But that's not the experience. So the diehards are kind of upset about this, and maybe rightfully so. But then the other folks are like, "Hey, man, we are people too, and we're paying."
I think that's it. I think these tech giants, these CEOs, Silicon Valley is the new Wall Street. So a lot of these art installations and artists need financing.
Yeah.
So why not marry the two? Guys with big pockets with pure artistry.
Sure.
And so like bigger that would make bigger installations, more extravagant experiences.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of like where the CEO and the management for Burning Man is going. Like they're thinking of creating that marriage to make it more of a overall awesomer experience.
And I think so they were kind
awesomer.
Awesomer is a great word. They made it very clear that they don't really have a problem with this. I mean, it's kind of like basically saying, I hear you hippies. Yeah. I'm a hippie too, but this is for everyone.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's weird about it is that the exposure now is so high and the demand is so high. Like they cap it at 70,000 people, and they're still they're turning away 10,000 people. Still.
That's crazy.
So
all in
it's
the desert.
Yeah, they
in
just want to
part.
be in the remote desert, out, listening to music and taking substances, and and doing whatever they do out there. Stuff you do, Keely.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, so it's very interesting. So it's interesting to see how this plays out. I think hopefully, for my sake, by the time I go, this will still the luxury packages will still be in place. I'll be honest, one of those dudes.
I would want to go before the luxury packages are instituted. I want to see it in its organic way. I don't want to see it all gloss and gleamed. I want to see it stripped down and rugged. I want to be in the desert camping.
No, you're gonna be like the face paint on one side. Yeah. Like walking around,
yeah, exactly. Staff.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild out there. So, and there's a great documentary too on that's airing right now on Showtime that really is a very comprehensive documentary on I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's called Burning Man, a something story. But it literally talks about the origins of Burning Man, has all the principals who started it, talks about what it is, the organization. Really it's a year-round thing they're planning for. They build a city, essentially build a city and police and run a city every year.
Yeah.
And having 70,000 people out in the desert with no electricity,
that's
nothing.
huge to pull off.
It's to bring all that stuff there and no police, no hospitals, no firemen. They got to bring all that stuff there.
That's crazy.
It's an undertaking. So they're able to do that, and knowing everyone's on out of 70,000 people, 50,000 are on drugs.
Man.
So that's a crazy. That's an experience.
I'm hoping that they'll franchise it. I'm hoping that they'll put it in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Versus just Nevada.
That was like the Burning Man Encino.
Encino? At all places.
Burning Man Pacoima. All right, so let's move on. So the other thing is we another of our favorite topics that we can't get enough of is Oculus Rift, and it's just there's this real crazy race happening right now. With Oculus versus the PlayStation version, which was escaping me right now. Oh my gosh! I have it. My computer died. I'm sorry, Laura, everyone. But anyway, so Facebook has paid. So the question is Facebook, the fact that Facebook paid $2 billion, is this gamble right? And people are starting to say yes, because the initial thought is that this technology is mostly about video games,
right.
And we know good and well it's not. It's about these sort of immersive movie experiences. It's about these life experiences you have, and so the applications for Oculus Rift and what it means are far beyond
absolutely
what the technology is for
it's called Morpheus. Project
Morpheus. So this whole Morpheus Oculus battle is the next PlayStation Xbox, but on a higher level. Yeah. So. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
We covered this story so many times. But I think, most people will argue that the virtual reality stuff is just for video games. But I think you expand it out to everything, like just having experiences with sports or with other forms of entertainment. Like we talked about your favorite artist doing a live performance, and you put on the Oculus Rift, and you're seeing the perspective of them performing from the stage versus the audience perspective. Like there's so many ways to do it, and I think what's cool as you use this technology for movies, you could have alternate plot points in a movie,
Sure.
and you could choose as the viewer which one you explore.
Right.
Now that's a crazy experience. Or merging movies and video games into one thing. Like you're able to play something and then be able to just experience something all at the same time. I think that's the future.
And it's like that, you know, like the thing we took part in earlier in the year with
wasn't
Aloe
there.
Black. Yeah, you were there.
I thought you was gonna say Comic-Con.
No. Earlier in the year with the Aloe Black. Was that last year? Was that this year?
No, that was top of the year.
Oh yeah, with Aloe Black and Lincoln, where they had one music video, multiple experiences. Yeah. So they shot multiple sort of like angles, and so as a user, I think it's still up. You can actually check it out, watch the Love Is the Answer video, and then choose your own experience. And I think that's sort of the future. You know. It's always a hard, the technology to support that. Like, you can do all that stuff, but everyone can't run that. Is a machine fast enough? Is it like the Wi-Fi fast enough? It's all that stuff. But, you know, it's definitely interesting.
And like one of the owners for Oculus Rift, which it's a cool article, so I didn't know they were in Irvine, but one of the owners developed like an environment for his dad where he could watch a movie in a movie theater. So he created the movie theater. Oh, wow. So his dad throws on the Oculus Rift, and he's sitting in a movie theater watching, an IMAX screen.
That's great.
At home.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's cool. So you still have the feeling of a movie theater.
Exactly.
I'm sure theater owners hate that, but that's that. So let's shift gears into some pop culture, some nerd news here, because I want to talk about the sort of the winners and losers of the summer. From pop culture, and this is something that Wired actually was doing, and which I am now having a hard time finding. So yeah, it talks about some of the winners, of and the losers, and some of the winners obviously include Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the big winner. Which I just saw. Did you see that yet?
I have not seen that yet, man.
What?
Not yet.
Alexis, I know you saw it.
It said Mad Max was one.
Well, yes, I have him here. Actually, give me 30 seconds.
Your best friend DJ Mustard, which
I'm gonna get to that.
Your ace in the hole.
You know what? You're joking. You're joking about that. I want to get to that in a second. Wait, Alexis, did you see Guardians?
I did, and I saw it 3 times, and it's amazing.
3 times?
I did.
In a theater?
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw one in regular, one in IMAX, and IMAX in 3D.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the whole
experience.
I did, and it was great every single time.
Well, I didn't see it in IMAX. It's the only way I didn't see it. I did. But I did actually want to go back and see it in IMAX. I thought it was a phenomenal movie.
It's mostly just you get to see more of the environment. There's like more stuff on the sides. Like when they're in like deep space, you can see more when it's in IMAX. Cool. When it's regular, you can. It's not like distinguished, but you can just tell after, obviously, because I saw it.
You're saying like it's a crop factor?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What did you? So wait, so do you prefer? What did you prefer, the regular, the Real D 3D or the IMAX?
Just the IMAX. I mean, I think the 3D was a little too much for me at one point, because I mean my eyes are already pretty messed up. So
did you see it in Real D or did you see it in some other busted 3D? Real D is the only way to go.
I think it was Real D.
Okay,
I think.
Good. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite movies of the year. I loved it. I can't wait for the sequels. It was fantastic. Akila, you really need to see this movie.
I need to be on that.
But DJ Mustard is also one of the winners of the thing. And
isn't that like your brother?
It's like, I don't know why you're hating on Mustard.
There's no hate. I said this is your brother. How's that hate?
So last year, the DJ Mustard, for those of you who don't know, is a hip hop producer, hip hop and R&B producer. He's responsible for tons of hits. He's first best known for Achilles' favorite song, Rack City. That's it.
Hey, don't hate. Now you hate.
No, I love Rack City. I love was it on a beat? Okay. Look, I'm not mad. So the thing is that like they talk about how last year was all about Pharrell and Blurred Lines and Daft Punk, and he was and this year like he's got like 5 major hits. Why did you hate DJ Mustard so much?
It's no hate. I mean,
what's wrong?
I mean, yeah,
it's just not your fair.
They're hits because they're popularized, but I don't particularly think they're great songs.
Yeah,
I'm just being honest.
Nana. Look what you done started.
Word?
Yeah.
Performance?
You
gave the whole
you
performance?
flip it up. Every now and then. Thank you. Thank you. So DJ Mustard,
drops are
also
amazing.
Eva Green, Ava Green, Alexis, do you know? Ava.
I think it's Ava Green.
Ava.
Ava Green.
Yeah.
She's dope. I mean, we know. I mean, she's sort of everywhere. She was in this year, had a big year. 300 Rise of an Empire. She's supposed to be incredible in that. I didn't see that yet, but I'm dying to see that.
She's in Sin City.
Sin City.
Yeah.
She's the dame to kill for. She's the dame, and she's in Penny Dreadful. For those of you who don't watch Penny Dreadful on Showtime, she is Penny Dreadful, and she's probably most known too for playing James Bond woman who he was in love with in Casino Royale. Who, spoiler alert, who dies very tragically at the end in that scene when she's looking at him in the water. She's incredible. So she's had a big year.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road is something that has won the summer, which is funny because it's
not
the
even out.
trailer.
Yeah, it's not
the
even
trailer
out.
I'm
is
so excited.
I'm so excited. That was probably the moment, out of Comic-Con, everything else, where you're like, I can't wait for 2015. Over Star Wars, there was nothing out about Star Wars yet in terms of except for a cast announcement and everything else. But that actual trailer, that extended trailer was probably the best thing I've seen. And
Wow.
It's more exciting than the Avengers. I mean, that's what's still on my mind.
More exciting than the Avengers.
Yes, it is to me.
Okay.
Just in terms of just what I saw visually, and in terms of nerd factor of yes, and then since George Miller, and I can't wait.
I mean, I think that says a lot that it's on a list and it's not out. That's huge.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I co-signed it. I'm like, yep, exactly, because I was very excited about it. Talk about John Oliver, who's actually won the summer. His show is fantastic. If you haven't seen his show, Last Week Tonight on HBO, it's really good, really, really smart. It's kind of in the vein somewhere between Bill Maher's show and what the Daily Show and Colbert used to do, but he's super funny. But the things he talks about and the way he's able to really blend in politics and solutions and shed light on things in a really funny way is incredible. And the way he handled things like Ferguson, and he
What's his take on Ferguson?
Well, it was more like his comedic take was more along really sort of taking an aim at the people who were sort of like. First of all, he took a really hard aim at the cops themselves when it first came out. Where they're kind of sort of bungling, well, they were doing their job and da da da. So he kind of showed them, and then had a comedic and also very pointed response, basically saying, "You guys are," I can't repeat his language, and then basically all the critics who were like, well, he was. You never know with these thugs or whatever. He showed those clips and then really, really went after it, and then showed a bunch of history of why this is an issue. He was just really great.
I think what's dope about him is that because it's HBO, he doesn't have to really adhere to any corporate demands or whatever.
Right.
He's able to be more controversial, just more direct with some of his takes. He doesn't have to worry about offending a sponsor or whatever.
Sure. So yeah, that was great. And then some of the losers. And also fall TV. They like fall TV, in that too, and back in the winters, because all the fall TV shows. And we just did by the way, I just did a fall TV preview show over on our sister station AfterBuzz. We previewed all the fall shows and for network and cable. So if you want to check that out. The fall TV season looks fantastic. So they said that's a big winner too, which is weird. Some of the losers, which I don't agree with this one, is Godzilla.
I completely agree with this.
Man,
I disagree. I loved Godzilla.
I love Godzilla. Oh no!
Oh, why?
Why is it a loser?
Why?
Compared to everything else that came out, Godzilla's not on the top of the list.
Okay. I'll agree with you on that one. That makes sense.
Okay, but it came out early. It did $507 million worldwide. It's a hit. It was entertaining.
I mean, it was better than the one in the 90s. You guys remember the early two? Remember?
Yeah,
the one looked like a raptor with the eggs and stuff. What the hell was that?
That was the worst. Don't get me started on that one. That was terrible. I'm really angry about that. It ripped off Aliens. It ripped off Jurassic Park. It was
too much.
Just terrible.
It's too much.
Anyway, but wait, one more time, Keely. Why do you hate this movie so much?
I didn't say I hated the movie. I said it deserves to be a loser. If you put it up against everything else, it's not the stronger one by any means.
They also said Edge of Tomorrow, which I also like, was sort of a loser.
I disagree with that one.
I mean, it just didn't do the box office.
So I'm disappointed in that because that's a dope movie.
It was very anticipated. It got very well reviewed. It was a very good movie, and yet it was kind of middling. I think some people say it's just an indictment on Tom Cruise. Do people not want to see Tom Cruise? Which I don't think is that. I think it's more
like last. I mean, what was it? What is it? Oblivion? That bombed too.
Well, because Oblivion was sorry. That movie sucked.
Okay.
I mean, it's visually good, but the movie was terrible. It had some moments. It definitely had
At least
some
it was
moments.
better than After Earth.
Oh, that's Achilles' movie there.
No, not
Achilles.
at all.
You were trying to.
No, I was talking about the technology.
You
It's a tech show.
check
as well.
the logs.
It's a tech show as well.
Can we check the
it's
logs?
Not just a geek show.
I can't do it right now.
Alexis, check the
show
logs,
too.
please. I
It's
seem to
the
remember.
first time.
Okay, here we go. I seem to remember Keely was riding hard for that movie.
I was not riding hard. Check the logs, please. Bring it up.
All right, so yeah, it's definitely better than After Earth, Alexis. I agree with you on that. But no, I think the issue with this is the first of all the title was terrible.
Yeah.
The Japanese the version that it's made from is called
from a book.
From a book, and it was called All You Need Is Kill. Also
means
a
what?
horrible title. All You Need Is Kill is terrible. But what they tried to rebrand this in the DVD version, the Blu-ray, they've went to the Live, Die, Repeat.
I think it's much
That's
better.
much better, especially in
But
this.
the marketing push then wasn't successful at promoting that.
Yeah, but what I think the biggest problem that this movie had is, even though it's because people cry about we need an original story, we want something original. Well, here you have an original story with original things. But what the trailer did for us is it made it feel like you've seen this before.
Yeah,
it is a weird thing. It's a weird thing where we have this sort of fatigue, like alien being shot up with fatigue and robots and and even though it's almost like 3 years too late. If that trailer came out 3 years ago, everybody's freaking out.
But that's the thing.
But we've seen so much of that.
Like you said, if you just go off the trailer, it's not a good representation of the movie.
Not at all.
When I went into the theater to see it, I had no idea what I was gonna watch, and I was thoroughly surprised.
Yeah.
and impressed. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, so I highly recommend that. So even though that's one of the losers, we all recommend that movie. Another loser is The Giver. That movie, unfortunately, was the highly anticipated.
That's out already?
That's up there. That's how big a
Really?
loser it is. Oh, Alexis.
No, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I liked the book growing up. I didn't realize that it was
Yeah.
out already. Ugh, okay, never mind.
Exactly.
It sounded like you were about to shed a tear off that one.
Just a little bit. It hurt.
Well, not only that, it came out 2 weeks ago, Alexis, so you can still catch it in theaters. But it stars Jeff Bridges.
Jeff
Bridges.
Okay.
And Meryl Streep. So this was and it's a fantastic book. It's a hit book and highly anticipated book. The movie has 2 Oscar winners in the title role. But the problem with this was A, the movie wasn't that good, but B, it suffers from this this push of all these YA novels, these young adult novels that are coming out. I mean, between obviously Harry Potter was the first of that crew, but
Divergent.
Yeah, the Hunger Games
Games.
Hunger Games is blowing up. Is obviously the biggest franchise next to Harry Potter. So then Divergent came out. Before that, you had Ender's Game that came and went. They really spent a lot of money on Ender's Game and was hoping to make all of those.
Oh man, I
books.
forgot all about that.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
forgot
That's
about
a
that.
loser, too.
That was with Harrison Ford.
I
and
know.
that was like a big. That was a loser. I mean,
It's a loser.
it got well reviewed. It got really good reviews, and that was they would hope to make a bunch of those books. And I don't know if they're gonna make that. Divergent, which was highly anticipated. Did you see that?
I love Divergent.
I haven't. You're the
Divergent.
first. Lola was telling me she loved it.
Divergent is dope.
No, apparently it's really good. I haven't
dope.
seen it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Apparently it's really good.
See, I'm watching the
I
trailer
watched it twice.
you watched it twice.
It's solid.
And you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Solid.
Oh my god! All right,
I hacked into your phone to get the movie, Joe.
so I gotta check out Divergent, and then they have Maze Runner's coming, which is another one they want to do. Maze Runner.
I think that one's gonna be good.
All right. So by the time they got to The Giver, and it's a couple of more fresh-faced white kids looking earnest, in a dystopian future, it's enough already. Exactly. So I don't know, and unfortunately, apparently didn't do the book the book well. Also,
Godzilla sucks.
they talk about the internet gossip mill and all the haters. Basically talking about all of the Jay-Z Beyonce marital problems. Every time there's a major event, there's a huge sort of internet gossip mill, negative gossip mill talking about all the other stuff around that. So. Those are all the losers.
Man, I just glanced over and just saw that picture. It really shocked me.
Ice-T, baby.
It really shocked me.
This is and I apologize because my my phone's down here, my iPad's down. But so this is a picture. This is a photographer that's come up, and he's shot all these wonderful pictures from a very specific time in the early '80s of like a lot of skate guys, you know, the Z-Town, Dog Boys, Z Boys, and a lot of early hip hop and
Public Enemy,
specifically in and around Los Angeles as well. And this is your boy Ice-T. Now I don't know if you can see this, but that picture is amazing.
Yeah,
First of all,
amazing.
Check out his pager.
Man,
That's
no,
a
check out no. Check out the Adidas cutoff shirt.
The cutout
tucked in to the jeans above his waist. Gangster.
I have that shirt. I will still rock the cutoff Adidas shirt, but I don't know if I don't know if I tuck it in though.
Yeah,
I might not tuck it in.
That's you, Joe.
Mesh hat and
That's the perm, right?
with the perm.
Yeah.
I mean, Ice-T's not looking that's super gangster right there, but I guess this was at his height.
This is your era though. Like, I mean, is this accurate?
Yeah, yes. This is my era. And yes, I think it is accurate.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. So there's some super iconic photos of rappers and skate punks and the guy's name who did this, and as my computer loads now, this is the worst podcast in history because I'm not informed. Glenn Friedman. Thank you. Sheesh. Glenn Friedman is this guy, and he's fantastic.
But I think the point of this is that he was able to document, you know, these guys early in their career, before they even had a career, when they were just doing it for the love, and the show kind of like the essence of them before they blew up to become stars.
Right.
Versus now, like, because of social media, like, kids are branding themselves and packaging themselves because they want to be famous versus because they're doing it organically because they love hip hop or they love skateboarding or whatever the art form is. They're doing it because they're trying to make money from day one.
Right.
Versus these guys, this is what I do.
Right.
So that's a huge difference.
I mean, he's that pager, man. It's like a Game Boy. it's okay. So moving on. So this is an interesting thing we talked about sci-fi. Like, we have a lot of speaking of dystopian futures, it feels like every other sci-fi movie, you know, every sci-fi movie now has this sort of dystopian future, from zombie movies to sci-fi movies. It's like the future sucks, everything's horrible, this is where we're headed, get ready. And there's been one argument that sort of says that, like, well, it freaks us out, maybe we shouldn't have it this way. But I think that there's this article saying that we need this more than ever because it frankly does, if nothing else, it keeps us aware,
of course,
you know, of what, and now these things are sort of based in sort of where we're headed from an ecological standpoint, from a financial standpoint, from a from a war standpoint. I mean, this is like the future extrapolated from where we are now, and it is in our culture. The more we see this stuff, the more hopefully it reminds us that it'll help prevent us from going there.
Or it could be prophetic. It'll propel us to get to it faster.
I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it's like what's chicken egg? Because we talk about this is what our future is going to look like, so we don't go there, or is it like this is what our future is going to look like, and we're sort of
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's inevitable. I think the way this world is structured, I think there's going to be a lot of devastation. I think it's inevitable. I think the Earth is going to heal itself. I think humans have pushed the environment to its extreme,
right?
And I think we're gonna have karma for it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that maybe our progeny will have to live in a society like this.
Right.
I believe it. What about you?
I mean, I think the opposite. I think that the more we talk about what may or may not happen, helps us to avoid maybe going there in the future. And I love these. I love the sci-fi dystopian future worlds. It's scary. It's interesting. I like it way better than the sort of or even the dirty future, like Blade Runner, as opposed to this pristine future where everything's wonderful. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. We're almost out of time, but I do want to touch on this Nintendo thing. Actually, I don't know, Alexis, are you what's your take here on the DS? Do you have any takes here?
I'm kind of excited for it, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I think Nintendo is always going to do well in their own kind of thing. Because I know a lot of people are saying that Nintendo's doing horribly right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's true. I think they're always going to be doing, like, they're going to be on the line average. And, like, they're going to stay afloat.
What about this notion of, like, it finally trying to woo hardcore gamers? Because Nintendo's traditionally been, like, for kids or for people, like, for casual gamers.
I think that they should keep it that way. I mean, even if they try to do it for hardcore gamers, I think it's just going to do just fine. Like I said, like, it's just going to be average. I don't think it's going to, like, skyrocket, but I also don't think it's going to plummet either. That's just my intake on it. I think it's just going to do fine.
I mean, I think I kind of disagree with that. I think it'll be fine, but I definitely think it has been plummeting. I think it will continue to plummet. I think especially with, you know, the whole virtual reality stuff about the drop. Like, how are they going to keep up with, you know, kids that want to experience that too? Like, I don't see it being that much of an attractive thing to kids. Maybe the price point might be attractive because it's so low and cheap, but aside from that, I don't see anything that would draw people towards it.
Okay. Well, I've never been a Nintendo guy.
Never?
Never been a Nintendo
Wait,
guy.
At all?
Never. I was always Sega.
What kind of geek are you,
wow.
bro?
I know, I don't play. I didn't. Actually, I played a little Duck Hunt back in the day.
Oh my God.
Little Duck Hunt. I never played. I never played Mario, brother. I never played Mario. Never. I was always like Sonic.
Okay.
I was either early on. I was Sega. I was Sonic. I was Sega Genesis. So
I played that
Street
too.
Fighter?
Yeah,
No
Street
Street
Fighter is
Fighter?
awesome.
nah, man.
Wow.
Ouch.
Nah, I wasn't my thing. I wasn't with it. Let's skip right to sort of what we're geeking out on right now. I got a couple things that I'm geeking out on. Is number one is I gotta mention this, man. I'm late to the train on this as always, but I've been watching Naked and Afraid.
Oh, get out of here, man.
Man.
That's...
Man, have you? No,
You said you want to be on the show? Is
no,
that
I do not want to be on the show. Naked and Afraid, for those of you who don't know, is the latest in the survival thing. It's in season 3. It's on Discovery Channel. It's taking 2 survivalists, strip them buck ass naked, and drop them in the middle of.
Nothing. It's dumb.
Oh, well, I'm not trying to be tiddly. I'm not trying to go and see like some you know,
So why are you watching it?
some breastises.
Why are you watching it?
I like the survival stuff. I like the survival stuff.
There's tons of survival stuff.
All right, but it's interesting like the people are naked, Akili, for 21 days out in the wilderness.
Okay.
Alexis, you watch the show?
I do.
Okay, do you like it?
Yeah.
See, it's good.
I prefer the new Bear Grylls show.
Oh, that's pretty good too. No, that's good. The celebrity one when he takes celebrity,
That's dope.
It's very good. But I'm telling you, and it's NBC. They're spending a lot of money on it. It's like a ton of helicopter shots and crazy production value. So it's different from his shows that are usually on cable, which are also good. But you can see that they're spending money on this one. It's like NBC money. But I do like Naked and Afraid. I highly recommend it. Check it out, Discovery Channel. Other thing I'm very got on.
You said you're on episode 8.
Yo, I watched like 3 in a row the other day.
No,
I felt like
you're starring on episode 8.
Oh, maybe if I get on there. Shoot, I'm just afraid. Another thing I'm geeking out is I on this big run of back in comic books, and I went and I bought this. I bought Grayson, which is something I'm loving. It's on the new. It's part of DC's New 52, which is which DC Comics last year or the year before decided to say they're going to relaunch a lot of their characters with new origin stories and kind of everything else, and sort of reintroduce all these DC characters to a whole new generation. So from Superman, so it's like Superman #1, Batman #1, Wonder Woman #1, Aquaman #1. So all these titles, all the regular people, and then also they're reinventing some people. So Grayson is Dick Grayson, who is Robin. And so the story, it sort of chronicles him as from Robin, as as a flying Grayson becoming Robin and adopted, and then from Robin, if you follow the comic books, he became Nightwing and was with the Teen Titans and was Nightwing, which is sort of a Batman protege. He was that for a while. In the comic books, he died, but now is sort of back and reborn as Grayson, who is Dick Grayson, a spy. And so he's shed the Nightwing moniker and decided he's working for this organization as a spy. It's a really cool sort of way to preserve that Dick Grayson character, who has always sort of been in Batman's shadow. He's like a Batman Jr. I love the idea of like what happens when Robin grows up. He can't be Robin forever. Right. So when Robin grows up, he was Nightwing. And then it's like, okay, he can't be Nightwing forever. And now like this is presumably a guy in his 30s, and he's Grayson. And it's excellent. I really love it. So I highly recommend Grayson. What do you got? Anything else?
Man, I'm geeking out on the new Canon 7XR.
Oh, you're in cameras now.
No, man.
No?
I got nothing.
The CS300? Canon CS300?
Man, it's on sale too.
Oh, really? For how much? What's that going for?
Well, we could talk about that offline.
The Canon, it's on sale for a cool, what, 20 grand?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I was actually just making up numbers.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll run out and buy that right now. Well, that's all we got. I think next week we're going to get into, when talking about our good friend Nick Cannon and his product, the Incredible Tablet, and that's out, and we talked to him. We talked to Nick in CES in January, and we said he'd come back on a program to talk about that when it's out. And so I think maybe next week we're going to try to reach out to the Nick Cannon camp and get and talk about the Incredible Tablet. So we'll look for that next week. But in the meantime, Keely, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Akili Shine, AKILISHINE. And where can we find you, Brad?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Joe K Braswell, and coming up on AfterBuzz with the Blacklist and some other stuff as well. But we have our fall TV preview that's up right now. Please check that out. That's it for next time. For Keely Shine, I'm Joe Braswell, and for Alexis too. That's Geek.Nerd.Tech. We'll see you next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.